Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to make a Python project. This is our first Python project in this Python complete course playlist. So in this Python project, we are going to make a game word Scramble. And guys, if you don't know about this game, so let me tell you. In this game, you will have some letters which make some meaningful words, but you will not get all the letters in a serial order. You will get all the letters in a scrambled form, means in a mixed form. So let's understand with this example. So here you guys can see that we have some letters, 6 letters. So now what we have to do, we have to arrange in such a way that we can get some meaningful word. So if I arrange in this way, then I am getting a word Python. And if that is the correct word which is set by this program, then I will win the game. Otherwise, I will lose the game. So basically this is what we are going to make in this project. We are going to make a word scramble where user will get some letters and you have to guess the correct word. So without any further delay, let's get into the code. Here guys, I'm in a PyCharm and I have already created a file project1.py. So guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to comment here and I'm going to write my project name word scramble. Alright. So guys, let's first of all create a fun function which is going to be our main function, means a root of our game. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a function name main, which is our root of our game. Basically our code will start from here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask first of all the user that do you want to start the game or not. But before that, I want to display the rules of the game. So what I can do, I'm going to display here rules as well as I'm going to ask from the user whether you want to start the game or not. So first of all, for displaying the rules, I am going to create another function. Let me write a define show rules. Alright. So basically this game will have some rules. And what are the rules? Let me write a print. These are the rules. And here I'm going to define first rule. First rule is basically we will have some round in this game. It is not like that every time when we execute this code, we will get one chance only to guess a word. We will have some rounds. Like if you are failed to guess the word, then don't worry, you will get another word, but you will award 0 points for that round. I'm going to say you will have 4 rounds in this game. Alright. And the second rule is if you guess the correct word, then you will get 1 point. And similarly, in the next line, you will get 0 point if you are not able to get a correct word. So if you did not guess the correct word, then you will get a 0 point. Alright guys, only this is the rules we are going to get, and let me write here 3. Okay, now after that I'm going to write just here best of luck. Okay, so this is basically our show rule functions. So the main purpose of this function is to display the rules to the user. So we are going to call this function first of all in our main function. So I just call this function. Now user will see first of all these rules. After that, I will ask from the user whether do you want to start this game or not after reading the rules. So I will take a response from the user in our inp variable, and here I am going to say input enter any key except n or capital N to start the game. Alright guys. So if user will enter n, small n or capital N, then it means that he or she don't want to start the game. But if the user is not entering these in these two characters, that means he want to start the games. So here I'm going to check whether user want to start the game or not. So if input in small n or capital N, that means you don't want to start the game. So I'm going to say print you don't want to start the game, and here I am going to return. So basically this main function will return here. So it will not going to execute whatever the code I am going to write here, but if it is not the case, then it will going to execute next code. So here basically we are going to call the function start game. This is our second main function which is having all the code of a game. So let me define this function here. I'm going to say define start game, and in this function we are going to write our logic of the game, what we are going to do in the whole games, everything we are going to write in this function start game. So let's write here. So basically guys, what we want to display some words to the user, and we want to display actually character of that words. So first of all we have to set some words. So here I'm going to write a word tuples, words tuple, which is basically a tuple and it is storing some words. I'm going to write here one word which is programmer, and one word is coder, and one word, let's say laptop, and images, and let's say robot, let's say random, and let's say one last word which is our chair. So these are the words which I set in my program. You can write any words which you want to guess from other person. Now guys, what our next task? Now guys, we know that we have 4 rounds in this game, remember? So we have to do same task 4 times, and you know that if we are doing some particular task again and again, then we can use a loop. So here I'm going to use a loop which will iterate 4 times, and I can use a for loop, while loop, but here I'm going to use a while loop. So I have to define iterator first. So let's say I, which is initially 1. So this I variable is also going to tell me that in which round you are currently. If the value is 1, that means we have initially on first round. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a while loop while I is less than 5. So basically when we have reached till 4 round and my I value will update it to 5, that means we are going to move to the 5 rounds, and we don't want that, so basically we will return that. So I put a condition here, I less than 5. So now guys, what we have to do, we have to first of all take a word from this tuples, and basically we are going to take a random word from this tuples. And you know that we have seen also, if you want to take some random words from a list or tuples, then you can use a random modules. And you guys, if you don't know about random modules, don't worry, I'm going to explain what function I'm going to use. But if you want to know in detail, then you can watch my videos. The link you will get in description as well as on the I button. So guys, now let's use a random modules. So for using a random modules, I'm going to import first, and here you can import by import keyword, import random. And now guys, here what I'm going to do, I'm going to say random dot choice, which is a function which is going to give us a random word from a list of tuples. So here my tuple is words tuple, so it's going to return a single words from this tuples, and randomly, I don't know which one we will get first. So I'm going to store in word variable. Alright, now guys, we know that the word we want to display to the user in capital letters. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a string function. So word is equal to now word dot upper. So it's going to convert all the letters in upper. Okay, so now there is one more thing you have to remember. Guys, you don't want to display the same word again and again. What if your random function is choosing this word coder again and again? Then the 4 rounds you will going to ask the coder word again and again to the user. No, you will say the next word should be different from the previous word. So for that, I'm going to define a set here. I'm going to say used word is a set. Initially it is an empty because we haven't given any word to the user, but if user is getting any word, then we are adding that word into this set. And here I am going to say if that word is already been seen by the user, then we don't want to again display to the user same word. So I will say if that word is our used word set, then we don't want to go ahead, we will say that continue, and we again choose any other words from this tuple. So continue means it will going to continue this while loop, it will go again this line, then it will going to choose another word from the tuples, it will go until it found that word which is not being seen by the user. So that's all. So now what we are going to do, now if the user doesn't see that word, particular word, then we are going to display to the user. But before that we have to add this in used word set. So I'm going to add function, and I'm going to add this word function. So this is basically a benefit of having a set which is going to tell us that whether user has seen this word or not. If it is not, then it's going to move ahead. If it has already seen, then it's going to say that you have to check again and find another word which is not being seen by the user. Now guys, what we are going to do, let me show you the slide again. Here you guys can see that we are getting all the characters in these forms, and all the characters are mixed up. So how we can convert this Python word or coder word or any other words in this form? So let's see here. I'm going to use a fun function which is a sample function. And guys, this sample function is also present in our random module, and its task is nothing guys. It's going to return us our data in a shuffle orders in a mixed form. So basically, if I have word coder, let me write a coder. So what it's going to do, it's going to return in mixed form. It may give first word is O, then D, then E, then R, then C, any form, but that will be different from this original word. So let me use here I'm going to say random dot sample, and here I'm going to pass my word, which is a word, and after that I have to pass the length, how many letters in this word we have. So length of word. So once I have done, this is going to return a list or tuple. So we don't want our data in a list or tuple, we want in a string. So I can use a join method. So basically what I'm going to do, let me put it here, and let me say a new word. That a word is going to be now string dot join, and I will put everything in this join method, and let me close this. Now guys, everything is going to be converted in string, but guys, we want a bar after every character. So I can say here bar. Now it will going to return me, let me comment and write here, it will going to return me every character. Let's say O, after that a bar, then D, then E, then R, then C. So basically it's going to return me in this form. So now guys, we have got our word. Now I have to display to the user that which is this round. So I'm going to say print you are having a round, and round is nothing, it is going to tell by your eye. So I'm going to use the f string. I'm going to write here f, and basically I can use a variable inside of string by curly braces. So I'm going to say this is round whatever I value. If it is initially 1, then this is going to tell round 1, and you have to guess the word now. So I'm going to now print a word. So now I have displayed the word. So now what I'm going to say, I'm going to say the guess the correct word. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take input in the user. So I'm going to say user word, and here I'm going to say input guess the word. Alright, so now whatever the word entered by the user, it is going to store in use word. Now guys, we have to check whether this user word is same with our words or not. So basically I have to store our this words which is chosen by this random in a variable. So let me here choose a computer word, and this is equal to word. Basically we have chosen our word. Now guys, we are going to check it. Now guys, I am going to do if user word dot upper, means I am going to convert in uppercase character. If user has entered in lowercase also, it's going to convert in uppercase. And I'm going to say if user word dot upper is equal to our computer word, that means you got a correct word. And if you got a correct word, then this program will give you 1 point. So I will say that your points will be incremented by 1, and I have to define a points. So I'm going to say initially your point is 0. So I'm going to say points is 0, and every time it will increment it if you guess the correct word. And now I am going to print you guess correct word. Alright, so it guess the correct word. So great. And if you didn't guess the correct word, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to say else print you didn't guess the correct word. The word was, and we have to display here the word. So computer word was this one. So basically what we are doing here, so basically if user word is same as our chosen word which is computer word, then we are incrementing the points, and after that we are printing that you guess the correct words. If you didn't guess the correct word, then we are printing these lines you didn't guess the correct words, and after that we are displaying the correct words. Alright, and guys, after that once it done, every time we have to print a new line because we want that some space should come in each round. After that what we are going to do, now we are going to display the scores once this 4 iteration will be over. So I'm going to say print 4 round has completed, 4 rounds has completed. Alright, now guys, we have to display the score to the user. So I'm going to say print your score is, and here I'm going to display the points. Alright, and at last I'm going to display the message that print thanks for playing this game. Alright, so we have done our codes, and guys, now let's see if by executing these that whether this code is working or fine or not. So I'm going to call this main function, as I have already told you in starting that everything is controlled by this main function. And once we have called this function, it's going to display the rule first. After that it will ask from the user whether do you want to start the game or no. If user enter small n or capital N, this means that it don't want to start the game. If user enter any other character, then we have to start the game, and once we start the game, it's going to execute this function. And here we have written our logic, and after this 4 round completed, we are going to print all the rounds complete and your score is this. So let's run this code now. So it's saying that these are the rules. You will have 4 rounds in this game if you guess the correct words. So it's basically displaying the rules. Now it asking from us that we want to start the game. So we have to enter any character except small n or capital N. So let's say I enter Y. So it started the game. Now you can see that we are at round 1, and in round 1 we get this word. Now we have to guess the correct word by arranging these letters. So we know that this letter somehow matching with chair. We see that CHAIR. So I'm going to write CHAIR, and if I write this, that means you guess the correct words. So it again displaying the round 1. Let's see what we have done here. Alright, we haven't incremented the I value. So let me increment the I value here. You can see that the I value initially is 1 and it is still 1 in the while loop. So we have to increment the I value to tell that we are at round 2. So let me increment here I value. Now let me close this code and let me run again. I'm going to write here yes, and here I am at round 1. So we know that this is chair. Now we are at round 2 and it gives me another letter. You can see that OROTB. What you can think this letter is making a word? Actually, I'm also getting confused here what the word is. So let me see in my list. So you can see that here the word is robot. So let me write here robot. And now guys, I guess the correct words. Here let me write random words, which means that I could not able to guess the word. If I write here random word, and you can see that I got a message, you didn't guess the correct word, and the word was actually random. So this word was random, but I write something else, so it display that word is nothing, it is a random. So now I am at last round. So this is easily we can say that this is laptop, and I guess the correct words, and my 4 round has been completed. My score is 3 because I guessed 3 word only, and thanks for playing the game. And now guys, one improvement I can do in this code, that every time I can display the current score to the user. So what I'm going to do, in every time I'm going to say print your score is points. Alright, so once I did this, it will going to display my current scores every time in each round, and after that I can say that your final score is this. Alright, once I do this, and if I run this again, so let me write a yes, and if I do this one, and we know that this is coder, okay, and after that we can see that you guess the correct word and your score is 1. Second time if I say that this is chair, your score is 2 and you guess the correct word. And third time if I write, we know that this is a random, but let me write another word. Let me say here it is another. So it's going to say me that you didn't guess the correct word, the word was actually random, and your score is still 2. And we are at last round, so let me write here laptop, because we know that this is laptop. So this is going to say you guess the correct word, your score is 3, and 4 round has been completed, your final score is 3. So thanks for playing this game. So guys, that is our project. We have created a word scramble game and it's working fine. You can see here. If you find this video helpful, then give a thumbs up to this video and subscribe my channel. Meet you in the next video. Thank you.